Alright, folks, sorry about that. I had a little issue with my my hotkeys here. So sorry about that. We had to end Craig a little bit early. But welcome everybody. It's great to see you. Welcome to the Schuylkill River Valley and to Sidetrack Sunday #1 for June 2021. For those of you who don't know, I'm John, and I'm going to be your host for the night. As you can see, off to my right, sorry, my other right, that's my left, we have the model railroading streams on here. You think it's on the wrong mic. Can you guys not hear me? volume is low. Alright, wow. I'm not sure. Let me see what I can do about that. Okay, is that any better, folks? Okay, Wigwag can hear me. Roy Ethan says I'm pretty quiet and super background noise. I just killed the background noise, so hopefully that should fix that. Not entirely certain why. Okay, yep, I killed the fan, Sparky. I'm working on raising the volume here. Let me change it this way. Z Fantasy Trains, good to see you. Okay, that's so much better. Okay, great, thank you. All right, so as I was saying, to my left is the model railroad schedules for the live streams and the shows. This is an old one. Actually, it's from March. So if you don't see your show or your live stream, or I have something wrong, like I have poor Anthony Dodge's name wrong, drop me a comment or an email, or send an email to Heath at Humanity Junction, and we'll get that corrected. We have about almost 20 updates now, so this will be changing in the near future. So we got looks like we got a few people here tonight. So far, it looks like we've got 34. That's cool. So let's see who's here. Let me scroll back up here. Okay, Brian's telling me my audio is still very low. I can push it up some more. Is that any better? All right, let me say hello to some people here. We got Roy Eltham. Good to see you. Steve Childers is here. John Knopfel is here. Let's see, who else? Dwight Curley's in the house. Dwayne's Fork and Spoon Railroad. Good to see you, Dwayne. Let's see, who else is here? Brian is telling me he can barely hear me. All right. Let's see. All right. I just pushed my volume to about 350%. Brian, if you would let me know if that's any good. Let me come back to where I was. Okay, so where was I? Santa Fe Bob is here. Wigwag Workshop is here. Mark from M&M Rails. Good to see you, Mark. Brian from the Iron Horse DNRGW. Norman Rowe. Steve 87th PSAP is here. And everybody's cousin Vinny, BNSF 6951. Great to see you, Vinny. So, let's see, who else? I think I said hello to Roy Eltham. If not, hello, Roy. Norman Rowe, I think I said hello to you. Nathan DeLay, good to see you. James Galton. Frank, Steeler Fan 820, good to see you. Let's see. I think I said hello to Wigwag Workshop. Jerry Satarelli, good evening, Jerry. Let's see. That's okay, John. The cat decided to sit with me. Okay, Al Mars here. Good to see you, Al. Sparky 107 107. Good evening, Sparky. Shane's Trains. Good to see you, Shane. Let's see. Kyle Stevens. Hello, Kyle. And Shay's N Scale. Hi, Shay. Let's see. missing anybody? All right. Z Fantasy Trains. Good evening, Z. It's great to see you. DW Cobb 43. Thank you for being here. Dustin's N Scale Railroad. Good to see you, Dustin. Let's see here. And Midsummer Railway N Scale. Good morning, Greg. It's evening for us, but it's probably like sometime Monday morning for you. Greg's down there in Australia someplace. And there's Heath from Humanity Junction. Good evening, Heath. Good to see you. Tim from CP368 Productions. And I just got to the end of the list, so I hope oh, there's Jason the Train Freaks here. So I hope I said hello to everybody. If I missed somebody, I apologize. There's Dave Atkins. Hi, David. And Flying Crow. Robert, good to see you. Still sounds like the wrong music. Background noise is still high. Wow, I don't know what the background noise is coming from. I have nothing happening in this room. Rick Bailey. I'm definitely hearing that, and that's the only mic I got hooked up here. Let's try this one. Is that any better? Let's see. Who's that? Somebody said hello to Jimbo. Mr. Jimbo Trains, good to see you. Dragon Lover 68, good to see you too. Did that help my my volume at all? I'm still a little low. No background noise. All right, Roy Container Man, good to see you. I'm getting yes, no, way better, much better. Let's see. Yeah, I can't read that right now, Brian. Now we can hear you. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. All right, much better. Okay, now to start over. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Sparky can turn me down. Yeah, actually, you could turn me off, Sparky, if you wanted to. Let's see. Who did I just see? Oh, RDNT. Randy, how are you? Joe Rader, good to see you. Normal John. Okay, great. Thank you. Manny Fernandez, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. And Container Man says I'm 5x5. And if I'm not sounding better now, check your hearing aids. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sparky, and everyone else. I appreciate it. All right, so I thought I would stop off. I know, David. I'm only broadcasting on one channel right now, but I really don't want to mess with that since we got good sound. So I'll play with that another time. I've made a lot of changes to the system recently, and no doubt screwed something up in the process. Yeah, Sparky, I'm not even going to go there, Sparky. Okay, so why didn't that work? That should have worked. Okay, it didn't. All right, not really sure why. Okay, so anyhow, let's see, Sparky needs a cold shower. All right, so I thought I would start off tonight with something of a mail call. I guess it's not really a mail call since I already opened the box a week ago and I didn't film it, but I did get some pictures. Humanity Junction, welcome to your world. Yeah, I understand, Heath. I don't know why that's. I want to see why that's not putting that up. No, I'm not going to mess with it. Don't mess with success. All right, so let me start with this. Let me put that up there too. Okay. So I did get a mail call from Yankee Dabbler. Most of what you see here is from Yankee Dabbler. This is all N-scale stuff. So I've got a whole bunch of cork, some Code 80 Pico Flex Track. I got 2 medium radius left-hand turnouts, 2 medium radius right-hand turnouts, a curved left-hand turnout, a 25-degree crossing, and yeah, that's right, Drew, don't mess with success. I'm not playing with it. 25-degree turnout and a double slip switch. And I also picked up an N-scale re-railer ramp. Since I have enough trouble getting my HO trains on the track, I figured this would this was definitely a necessity. Good evening, Jake. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Okay. I also picked up a couple of 90-degree crossings, which I'm going to need to modify them because I have a single track cutting across a double track main on a 90-degree crossing, so that's why I picked them up. Although I didn't get them from Yankee Dabbler. I got them, I think it was model train stuff. Yankee Dabbler didn't have them. I wanted to thank Bob from Yankee Dabbler and Cousin Vinny. I had a problem. I'm not going to get into the details because it doesn't really matter. But I got in touch with Vinny, and he put me in touch with Bob. And I want to say thank you, Bob. I really appreciate you taking a personal interest and helping me out with this problem. And thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Everything got here quickly. I couldn't be happier. This gives me just about everything I need for my N-scale layout. I'm missing one Y, one 60-degree turnout if memory serves. Hello, Joey. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. And I'm still looking for one bridge left that I haven't been able to find yet. But that should give me everything else I need to get trains running on the N-scale layout. So, Bob from Yankee Dabbler is really great to deal with. Anytime, when you're in business, of course, you never like problems. They're always frustrating. But to me, it's more important with how a company handles it and how they make it right. And Bob definitely took a personal interest and helped me out. And thank you, Bob, and thank you, Vinny, for putting me in touch with Bob, and also, of course, for your discount code. 7% definitely helps. So yes, I'm very pleased with the service and the products that I got from Yankee Dabbler. So I do have a bit of missing a Y. What about an X and a Z? Now I got all the X's and Z's I need, Jason. Thanks. Let's see. Okay. I do have a bit of a slideshow here for the progress that I've been making on the N-scale layout. So let me bring that up. So, okay, Robert dealt with Yankee Dabbler twice and will never deal with him again. I'm sorry to hear that, Robert. I can tell you this. I did feel that way after the problems that I had the first time, but when I spoke with Bob and we got it straightened out, I have completely changed my mind. So yes, cuz we did get it worked out, and thank you. I appreciate you putting me in touch with Bob. Let's see. Humanity Junction, you feel left out? I hope I didn't make you feel left out, Heath. I did say hello, I think. Anyhow, I didn't wait for tonight for the
for the mail call because I wanted to get started on this layout. So I have almost all of my track down. You can see the most of it's here. Of course, I still have to put in those two bridges that you see in the lower right hand corner there. Looks like a foam slide on the layout. Actually, that's going to be a. Thank you, Roy. It is a mess at this point, which is really why I didn't take video of it. I mean, I took pictures, which was bad enough, but it really did look worse on video. But the foam slide is going to be the snowmobile resort. The two tracks that you see leading behind there will be a tunnel there. So what you're looking at, the top of the mountain isn't on there right now because I don't have the track down yet. So anyhow, I've got on this side of the layout, did a cat get a hold of the foam? No, actually, Dwight, I don't have a hot wire foam cutting tool. Mike from Wicked Insanity, great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I don't have a hot foam cutting tool, so that was hacked away with a combination of a razor knife and a serrated edge bread knife, which actually works pretty well. Does leave a little bit of a mess, but that's what vacuum cleaners are for. So let's see. Next picture here. You can see here where I had to cut out a chunk of the foam. When I had carved it down originally, I carved it back too far, and my bridge didn't fit anymore. I could have put in bridge abutments, but that would have left the terrain just looking pretty stupid. So you can see there where I cut that section out and put in a new chunk, and now carved it again. So now my bridge will fit and everything will look a little bit better. So here is the top of the mountain, the top of the snowmobile resort. And you can see where I also had to add a few extensions onto there because I didn't, because I didn't leave enough room for the tunnel portals going in there. That mountaintop is going to be permanently attached. I thought about making it removable, but instead I just cut out the back, as you can see there at the corner, and I will have easy access to everything underneath there to get to any errant trains and to clean my track. Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, Steve, I do remember something about the London Bridge. And yes, I do realize I'm going to need abutments, but I didn't want the abutments sticking out there in the middle of the river and part of the bridge hanging off the edge. So that's why I cut that part out and redid it. Thank you, Jason. Have a good night and take care. So like I said, I will have easy access to get in there. So I'm not going to have any problems with I don't expect any derailments to start with, but as far as cleaning the tracks and everything I'll have no problem with that. So once I get the track laid and I'm happy with it, then I'll put the mountaintop back on and attach it permanently. So let's see. This half of the layout, I have most of the road bed down. You can see there in the center, and then again off to the left, I have a bunch of cork there with push pins in. Obviously, that's not glued down yet. I ran out of silicone. I like put my cork roadbed down with pure silicone because it stays flexible. It doesn't get hard like like glue does. So it's easier to come back up if I need to get it back up, and it helps minimize the transmission of vibration noise because it stays flexible and not hard. So I only have about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet worth of glue to, worth of cork bed to glue down yet. But of course, I ran out of the silicone, so that's where that stopped. I also got the top of this mountain. Help John. What does John need help with? John needs help with a lot of things, actually, but what in particular, James? Anyhow, I do have, let's see, I agree, I like silicone, even though it's technically not an adhesive. No, it's technically not an adhesive, but it works really well. Did he say silicone to semi-glue the track to the cork? He said silicone to glue the cork to the foam. And Roy used the silicone. And I also did use silicone to glue my track to my HO track down to the cork road bed. And I may end up doing it with this too. I'm not sure. But this mountain here, I also have the top on. And this will also be removable. I mean, will be permanently attached. Because as you can see from the side and the back, again, I'll have easy access to it. Nathan wants to know which is more interesting to me, the Reading or the Reading and Northern. Well, Nathan, when I was growing up, all I knew, I didn't know anything of the Reading and Northern. I knew the Reading and Pensy, the UMP, and the P&W, which are the four railroads that I'm featuring on my layout. But as I got older and learned more about the Reading and Northern, it is an interesting railroad. And yeah, I do like it. Let's see. Roy uses gray silicone and adds ballast. If you miss a spot, you can't tell. That's a good idea. I've always used the clear silicone, but that's a good idea. Yeah, Jake, my main layout is HO. That's, why did that just switch? Come back here. My main layout is HO. That's the bigger of the two. The N-scale layout, it started to be, it was just going to be a Christmas layout, kind of a loop around the tree kind of thing. What is the arrow for on the red arrow? Let's see, on the white foam. It's really not a red arrow. I think that's a couple pieces of cork, John. Anyhow, Jake, yeah. So it started out. It was going to be just a loop around the Christmas tree kind of thing, but I'm not really good at doing that, and I really don't want to put it away at the end of the season. So I took a wall in my living room and made some room, and this is going to be up year round. That's the N scale. So yeah, definitely, I'm working on two layouts. Hopefully, I'll have at least one of them have some trains running pretty soon. So let's come back here. It is not the 4th of July. I gotta move this thing. I keep hitting it. Sorry, folks. This is a new system here. I'm not quite sure where to put my hands. Let's see. John, do you make the right size tunnel for your N-scale layout? Do you test it to fit your trains and the biggest trains to see if it will fit? Yes, actually, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yes, Nathan, I did make a couple of tunnel portals, which I took the measurements from commercial tunnel portals, because at the time when I designed them, I didn't have any N-scale trains, but I will be needing some custom double track tunnel portals for this layout. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking them against the trains to make sure they fit. So that's about where I am right now for the N scale layout. That's pretty much where I've been focusing my time, because I really want to get the trains running on that so I can tuck it back against the wall where it belongs. And it's currently right now in the middle of my living room floor, and I'm getting a little tired of walking around it. And besides, I really just want trains to run. So that's about where I am for the N scale. So I've also gotten some work done on the HO scale. Now, I know I haven't put out a video in quite some time, and I didn't get anywhere near as much work done as I wanted. But I have made some progress. The showstopper kind of threw a wrench into things. I wasn't affected physically. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to keep the GoPros for the HO scale. I don't think they're going to fit through the N scale tunnel portals. Anthony Dodge, great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. The showstopper did throw a wrench into my HO layout last year. Not that it affected me health-wise or personally, but with all the tax changes, especially payroll-related tax changes, how many sodas do you have in reach? Actually, I was almost finished that first one, Heath, so I had grabbed another one because I knew I was going to, my throat would be dry before the end of tonight. But with all the payroll tax changes that took place because of how the government is handling this COVID thing, I ended up having to rewrite the payroll software that we use about 3 times last year. You need a nanny cam, John, for N scale. Well, William A., good to see you. Well, we'll see about that, Steve. I might have a little surprise later on. So that took up a lot of time, but really one of the biggest problems was right at the beginning of the summer last year, my heating and air conditioning unit decided to give up the ghost. It really wasn't time, and it could have been fixed, but it didn't make any sense. It was undersized for the house, so I decided to just go ahead and put in a proper heating and air conditioning system, and I mean it's been great. I'm not glad that it happened when it did, but it is turning out to be pretty good thing. The new system is so much more efficient. My heating bills and cooling bills are a good bit lower than they had been, and the house has been a whole lot more comfortable. The downside is it took a pretty huge bite out of the train budget. Good night, Shay. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Let's see. Nathan wants to know, was my favorite type of steam engine, and what did you know? And did you know the T1 Reading and Nording was used to be Reading? And did you know that it went on Horseshoe Curve? No, I did not. I did not know that. My favorite steam engine, I mean, I've always liked the Big Boy, of course, just because it's huge. But I couldn't see myself really ever having a Big Boy. I'm not even sure it would fit in my train room, let alone on my layout. But my father's layout, he always had Berkshires. So I kind of have a soft spot for the Berkshire, and at some point in time, I probably will have one on my layout. Right now, I only have one steamer. It's a 210-4, which is huge, and it needs some help. It was a gift, and it's missing a pilot truck and something else, but I don't recall what else is missing. So I need to. I will get to work on that at some point. But I'm really more 5,600. That's right around where I paid for mine, because, and like I said, I wasn't expecting to to shell out that kind of money last year, but I'm kind of glad I did, because it's so much more comfortable in here. So that's kind of why the HO scale layout took a bit of a pause, but I did get some work done. So let's start here, and I'm going to start with the elephant in the room. I got some of my backdrops painted. This I don't really have a place inside to paint them. These are painted. These are done with oil paints, so I need a place to set them to dry. And I built the benchwork before I put up the backdrops. Come back here. Why? I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to sit on my hands so I don't touch that damn thing. Anyhow, I put up the benchwork before I put up the backdrop, which was really a huge mistake. Otherwise, I could have just painted it in place. So I had to paint it someplace else. So I painted it outside. Thank you, Jake and Steve. I appreciate it. This was, who painted them for me? Thank you, Heath. I painted them myself. Thanks, Dragon Lover. These were, thank you, folks. I appreciate it. So anyhow, I painted them outside on my deck. Set them up in my dining room until they dried, and then hung them up on the wall. So I only have the backdrops for the one wall painted so far. Humanity Junction, Bob Ross. Actually, this is the Bob Ross technique. It's a wet on wet oil painting technique. I learned. This wasn't built for me to walk on, Roy. My first bench work was, but this wasn't. But yes, I did learn to paint from Bob when Bob was still alive and on PBS, and I started watching him during lunch breaks when I was renovating my house. So I started painting them, and I painted probably about 24 paintings. That's not snow there. That's going to be a rock face, but I haven't gotten that too far yet. Thanks, Mike from Wicked Insanity, and Timothy Kynard. Good to see you, and thank you. So let's see. The next picture here, I have a close-up of some of the happy little trees. That hillside right there, it doesn't have the rock face in the front yet. Those trees are pretty much those are real food clouds. Bob's dead. Yeah, unfortunately, Steve, Bob passed quite some time ago. But the top of that mountainside there will be covered with trees, and the trees in the background are pretty much to scale with the trees that I'm going to be putting up there. There's still all of Bob's shows are on YouTube, Jake, and really, I was renovating my house at the time. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. And I sat down for lunch, and I started flipping through the channels. I was really looking for a baseball game, and I couldn't find any that I was interested in. Thank you, Al. I appreciate it. So I stumbled across this strange guy with his afro out to here, and he was painting, and I figured, this will kill some time, and I was hooked. I was hooked instantly, and I kept watching. And yes, you're right, Mike. His every one of his shows are on YouTube. In fact, before I painted these, I did go back and watch a few just to refresh my memories. So anyhow, I after watching a few of them, I decided, this is simple. I can do this. So I went out and I bought some paints, and I didn't buy Bob's paints because I figured, that's just a sales pitch. And yes, Anthony, you're right. They're still on some on PBS. That seems to be a little spotty, at least around me. But they are on YouTube. So I went out and I just bought, the cheapest oil paints that I could find. And the first painting I did was absolutely horrible. And I threw that away. So then I went out and I bought Bob's paints, and it does work a whole lot better. And yeah, that's right, Roy. I watched him. That would have been I guess the early '80s, and he was still putting out new content. So anyhow, the second painting I painted came out so much better. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate it. Let me get to the next picture here. Here's a little further down the line, some more of the background trees. The second painting that I painted, I was really happy with that, and in fact, it hung in my mother's house for the rest of her life. Did I know that the Reading and Northern has ran Canada locomotives on the railroad? They used to own one of them. It is in the Reading today. No, I didn't know that, Nathan. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate it. We move a little further down the line. Here's the next panel. This that's all Sculptamold, which is why it's not just the white. How long is the overall painting? What I have done so far, Chris, is 8 feet. It's a little bit more. I'm sorry, it's about 9. The other side of the room will also get painting like that. That'll be another 9 feet, and then the opposite two walls might end up with photographic paint, photographic backdrops. I'm not sure. Dwight Curley, who is Bob Ross? If you don't know who Bob, if you're serious, Bob Ross is he's a really interesting guy. He was a painter that was on in the 80s. He's got an afro out to about here. But he's a really good, awesome painter, and the method that he teaches. I mean, I never painted anything before in my life, and I'm pretty happy with this. Here's another close up of those trees, and down there, and that's where that where that wall, the painting ends on that wall. Dwight, look him up on YouTube. He's a pretty interesting guy. Tearing a piece of paper and a rattle can of white paint can do some awesome clouds. Yes, he can. I've seen some really great jobs people have done with that technique, Roy. How long it took me? I think probably maybe an hour and a half at best. Part of that is just getting the what Bob always called the liquid white, which is still just white oil paint, but it's much thinner, and getting a good coating on that. That took probably half an hour. But yeah, about an hour and a half at best. The river looks like blue tanners. Actually, the river is track. I didn't want my Sculptamold getting all over my track. The painting is done on masonite hardboard, but I painted it on the back side. I painted it on the rough side, not the smooth side, because this technique really works a whole lot better with like a canvas that has some tooth to it. The smooth side of the masonite is just too slick. So, which tree is Rick, Manny? The one you see right there in the upper left corner with no leaves on it. No, Heath. All it is Bob's liquid white, which is, like I said, it's just oil paint, but it's just a whole lot thinner. Yeah, it really does. It really does come out well, Roy. Dave P, how are you? Great to see you. I think that's the. Okay, so that's the end of the paint. This is underneath the what will be the Pennsylvania Railroad Bridge. Prime the smooth side with a rough primer. Yeah, Roy, I thought about that, but I really decided to give it a shot on the rough side, and it worked out pretty good. I was kind of happy with the way that came out. There's no such a thing as a fir tree in the deep south. Well, Bob paints other kinds of trees. I mean, I think I have a few. And yeah, there's a few other trees in there, Robert. They're not all evergreens. Anyhow, what you see where the blue painter's tape is, between the is that a Sasquatch? Between the big bush. Yeah, no, that's Rick, Steve. That's one of my favorite soups. The chunky potato with bacon bits. That's really good. I like to come paint your new space before the. Shouldn't take me to. Probably take me about as long to get up there, Heath, as it would to paint it. What was that? What kind, Chunky? You're right. Did I know that Andy? Did you know Andy, the owner of the Reading and Northern, doesn't like the Canada steam engines? He says they are tricky to fix, and one steam engine. No, I didn't know that, and I didn't really expect the Canadian steam engines to be any different. Gesso, right? That's. But no, I didn't paint. Put any gesso on this. This is just the liquid white. I could have sealed it with the gesso, but I didn't have enough, and I was pretty sure that this was going to work out pretty well. I'm actually kind of glad I did. It looks good, and when you're in the room with lights on and stuff, because it's not the shiny surface, it diffuses the light. You don't get lots of glare, like I think you probably noticed in the pictures here. Oops, wrong way. Yeah. You're not picking up any glare off the lights on the camera here, so I'm kind of glad that I did it that way. So this bridge here will be replaced. That'll be the Pennsylvania Railroad Bridge over the Schuylkill River, and where you see the white and the hole is where the town of Sweelin's going to be. That's where Allen Wood Steel Company's blast furnace was, and that's the town I grew up. Canadian steam engines are more polite. Maybe that's why he doesn't like them. Okay, that's an interesting way of putting it. It's called a flat, 12 24-ounce cans. Okay. So then moving over here. Oops, wrong way. So this is just a little bit left to the last shot that I showed you. And this is a deep cut that the two tracks of the P&W, the Philadelphia and Western Interurban line, will run through. Let's see, and here it is from the other side. So I've got the cut finished. I got the track in there. It's not ballasted yet, of course, but I do have the sculpted mold on top of that. This, unfortunately, is kind of a dark shot. This is just to one side, just to the inside of that deep cut. And it's a very short tunnel that the Reading will run through. It's not prototypical, but I liked it. So here's the other side, and the lighting is a little bit better. Yep. Actually, I run like virtually no long cars, but the longest cars that I do have and the longest cars I do intend to run make it through there without a problem. So yes. And to the right, the curve through the deep cut, that will only ever be interurbans and just one train, just one coach. So that's not going to be an issue there. Thank you, Anthony. Hello, Randall Ellison. Good to see you. No, on this layout, Heath, it will be HO. So here's the other side of that short little tunnel. The tunnel is only probably about a foot long. Oh wait, since it's his show, it's John number 1 now. Now see, Roy, you're just going to confuse poor Sparky. So everything in that tunnel is finished. The track has been ballasted. The inside of the tunnel has been completely scenic. So I should be able to get some decent GoPro shots going through there. And now here is looking above that cut and that tunnel. Thanks, Z. Yeah, you're right, Spark. I'm always going to be John number 2. Right there where the brown sculptor mold to the right, narrow gauge O scale. That's going to be a road. That's Flint Hill Road. That is a prototype road, and it does run from Bridgeport down into Sweetland. And there will be a bridge, of course, across the cut. I have most of that bridge finished. That's a concrete bridge that I scratch built out of plaster, and some styrene for the girders underneath for the I-beams. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, here's the backside of that Flint Hill Road. Flint Hill Road will come down. It'll cross the tracks there with the blue tape, and then it'll make a sharp right and head down the hill into Sweetland. And that's all pretty prototypical, other than instead of a grade crossing with the Pensy there would have been a tunnel. But I didn't have a spot for another tunnel, so it's a grade crossing. Let's see. And okay, here's where it makes the left turn, sharp right turn, and goes back down underneath the Pennsylvania Bridge. And not really the best shot there. Okay, and that's it for that. And I did put together a few shots here of some of my paintings. This is a small painting. This is probably about maybe a 5x8 or something along those lines. Just a little winter scene. This is one of my favorite paintings. Let's see. This one is actually a prototypical scene. That's a rope bridge or a cable bridge that runs across a tributary to the Schuylkill River. And Nathan, this is up Tennessee River Union Railroad. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. And as I was saying, I learned to paint from Bob. So I guess it does look a little bit like his. But Nathan, this painting is up out near your way. I don't remember the name of the town, but friends of my parents had, they called it a farmhouse. Thank you, Steve. It really wasn't a farmhouse. It wasn't what I pictured as a farmhouse. It wasn't what I pictured as a farm. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate it. And that's a cable bridge. The house was on the side to the left of that painting, and they hunted deer on the other side of the river. So when they would catch hey, Tyler, good to see you. So when they, that's cool, Tennessee. So when they would go over and shoot the deer, they would then bring the deer back across on this, over this cable bridge. And I actually have, let's see, I think John is the one person on YouTube I've seen who has succeeded. Well, thank you very much, Drew. I appreciate that. I actually have a picture of my father walking across that cable bridge, and oh, Roy, these are actually hanging on my wall, hanging off of there and damn near falling into the river. And this picture here is my favorite. This is hanging in my living room. Obviously, it's a night scene. There's nothing prototypical about it. It's just something that I painted, just a scene that popped into my head. So, but it's one that I like the best. It's pretty much monochrome. It's just dark blues and some whites. But yeah, I've always liked this painting. So, well, thank you, cuz. I appreciate it. Yeah, so now that the weather's nice, thank you, Z. Now that the weather's nice, I'll get back outside and happy little moon, right? Wow, thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. And Dwayne, thank you. Now that the weather's gotten nice again, I'll one of these days I'll get back out into the backyard and paint the other side of my layout room. So what time is it? Oh wow, that hour went pretty quick. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that's really all I have for you. Let's see. I wonder if you could add a scene in your layout. Also, I know this sounds weird. I had it a Krusty Krab. Krusty, you know what, Nathan? That doesn't sound weird. My youngest grandson, when he was growing up, SpongeBob was his favorite character, and I got hooked on it, watching SpongeBob with him every day. And in fact, when he outgrew SpongeBob, I was kind of disappointed because I enjoyed watching SpongeBob, but now I didn't have an excuse to anymore. So could I add a scene on your layout of one of your favorite movie scenes? You know what? I do have a number of scenes planned. Nothing particularly out of a movie. Yeah, you need a SpongeBob in the painting. Yeah, I don't think that I'm actually going to put SpongeBob in the painting. Although in that room for a long time, I did have a SpongeBob poster hanging on the wall. But it came down, you know, once my grandson outgrew it. I probably still have it around someplace. SpongeBob's awesome. Yeah, right, Dwayne. SpongeBob was great, and I loved it. Do I have a second YouTube channel for my painting? You should do a backdrop painting video. Well, I actually do have the footage I took from when I painted that, which I plan on putting it together for video. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. I'm not sure how good it came out because I was more interested in painting than I was in filming it. But if it's decent, yeah, I'll definitely put that out. And thank you. Oh, no, actually, there was something else that I have. Nancy, good to see you, Nancy. Thanks for stopping in. I do have something else for you. I hinted at it in the opening there with a last-minute surprise. And actually, you can thank Brian from the Iron Horse route for this. I really wasn't going to do this today, but he was beating my ear all afternoon. Scott, how are you? Great to see you. but he was beating my ear this afternoon, and let me tell you, that boy can talk. My father would accuse him of not being allowed to talk at home. So anyhow, I had to shut him up. So I decided to do this, and let's hope this is going to work. We now have a Tom's Trains and Things style HO cam. Okay, it's not oriented the right way. But yes, that is my phone. It's in the layout room, which is right next door to me here. And yeah, right. That's it, Heath. Thank Brian for this. So obviously it needs a little bit of work. I need to orient it the other way. I'm not really sure why it's oriented that way. And there's nothing running at the moment. But at some point in time, we will have a Tom Kvitchak style HO cam and a Tom Kvitchak style N scale cam. Let's see. What if he grows one out? I'm not sure I want to know what that conversation was about. So really, that's about all I had for, let's see. It is the right orientation for me. Well, yeah, you're a little crooked, Heath. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Nancy, I heard that you're banned from your own channel. That sucks. Then it is not a wig. Yeah. You know, Sparky, I'm pretty much past the point of growing hair. I still have some, but I don't even bother getting it cut anymore because it just really doesn't grow anymore. Yeah, I saw that, Nancy. You did tell them what they could do with themselves, and I'm sure they didn't care for that. Do I like other locomotives that you like but didn't run in the school corps? My opinion is I think it'd be awesome if you did get those locomotives to run on your layout. I plan on definitely plan on getting more locos at some point, Nathan. My first goal is to just get trains running. And one of the problems is all of my HO scale stuff is going to need decoders since nothing is DCC ready. So there's going to be a little bit of expense and time in that, which is the other reason that I've been focusing on the N-scale layout, since the loco that I won from Cuz is already DCC equipped. So it felt so good. Yeah, Nancy, I guess it did. So really, that's about all I had for you folks tonight. I'm not going to touch that, Sparky. Nancy got a little ticked off and spoke her mind. But really, yeah, that's about all I had for you folks tonight. Really appreciate everybody being here. Let's see. Just ask Ray to install your decoders. Actually, Heath, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not looking forward to buying all the decoders. Thanks, Dwayne. Have a good night. It was great to see you. So if anybody has any contests or anything special coming out, please go ahead and promote it. Promote your channels. Let's see. Intermission standby for part 2. No, I think this is. I think it's only going to be one part tonight, Heath. Let's see. Nathan met Andy twice, the owner, and he told me he watched some of my video. And that's really cool, Nathan. That's really cool. Be right back. The police arrived. Drew, dude, that's never a good sign. I'm going to have one loop of DC and then a layout for DCC. You know, I thought about doing stuff like that, and I just decided, I'm going all DCC. And my layout, I could definitely get away with it just being DC, but I want the sound and I want everything else, so I'm going all DCC. Oh, Steve, you're that you know what, Steve, that's an awesome shack that you're building. That's really a cool cool modeling project. Modeling Monday special. Okay, Modeling Monday tomorrow night on Humanity Junction. His special guest is Brian Fraser, and they're talking about model railroading versus toys. That should be a cool topic, Heath. You're not the Drew they were looking for. Glad to hear it, Drew. Let's see. I'm going to do a live video on Thursday to repair track on my movable gate. And we'll post the video tomorrow on paintings I've been working on. Awesome, Tennessee. That's great to hear. I'll definitely look forward to that. Tyler from Lackawanna Railfan has a 350 giveaway coming soon. So you got 30 locos that are DC. Well, I've got about 18. So I'm a little bit behind you. And I'm not going to be converting them all at once. But I definitely have to get to that at some point. So let's see. Sounds like a heated discussion. Wonder what discussion that would be. Not sure I know who Brian is. Depends on which Brian. We got several of them. Brian from the Iron Horse route. That's one. Brian from Inked Rails. Nathan's got 1,050 subscribers, and he's building a new layout. That's cool, Nathan. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Roy Container Man, thank you. It was great to have you here. Good to see you. And Roy Eltham has mumble locomotives. Okay. I understand, Roy. Sometimes you just just can't say that number, huh? Locos. Okay. Yeah, no, that autocorrect is kind of annoying, Tennessee, but we're all getting used to just reading anyhow. Oh, Brian Fraser. Okay. There we go. Sorry. I don't know who he is either. He's somebody Heath found. Yeah, that's great, Nathan. 1,050 subscribers. That's very cool. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Sorry for the operator errors. I'm going to find a new home for this stream deck here, so I don't keep hitting the wrong buttons when I don't want to. But thank you very much. Don't forget. Let's see here. Sidetrack Sunday this week. Will be on Heath's channel. That's Sunday night at 8 p.m. on Humanity Junction. And the next Community Roundhouse will be on my channel. That'll be on July 7th at 7 p.m. That's the first Wednesday of the month. Good night, Sparky. And we are working on a new system. I thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. I was talking to Brian and send this stream deck to me. Yeah, it's actually not a stream deck, Heath. It's Leorin board on my tablet, but it's right where I put my hands, and that's why I kept changing the scene on you folks. Sorry. Good night, Al. Thanks for stopping in. Nancy, thank you. And good night, David Atkins. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. So we've been working on a new system, and Roy and Sparky know it is not StreamYards, but we're gonna have something. We're gonna have something worked out by then, because Frank, I was telling Brian, I am sick of the problems. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it, Roy Eltham. Thank you very much. And yes, Heath, you better start thinking you only have a week to come up with something. But I'm sick of the gremlins. I'm sick of canceling the streams or shutting them down early. So we're gonna have something better in place by July 7th, which is the next Community Roundhouse. What is the new system? Well, it's going to involve OBS and Ninja, but I'm trying something a little bit different than what we had talked about. Because I just don't have the computing, like you, I don't have the computing power to do it. King Fox Junction. Hi Ian. It's great to see you. Sorry, but we're just about to shut down. But glad to have you here anyhow. Anyhow, Heath, I'm sure I will be leaning on you to help us test this. Thank you, Roy. Yes, I'm really getting sick of. Not sick of Community Roundhouse, sick of the problems with it. William A., thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I mean, we have fun with Community Roundhouse, but it's just been frustrating. So we need to come up with something better, and that's what we're going to do. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a couple different sides to me, Anthony. But yes, thank you. You use 4 computers to get yours to work. Well, I'm hoping Heath, that if I trim this down a little bit, we can get away with 2. I test. You mean break it? Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I'm going to ask you, Heath, because if you break it, if you can't break it, then it's not going to break. Roy Eltham, thank you. I will definitely hit you up if we need some help, but I probably will. So thank you. So all right, everyone. Like I said, thank you. My throat's starting to get dry here. So well, Heath, thank you. I'm happy to have shared them. I'm glad everybody enjoyed them. That was actually one of the more fun parts of this building, this layout so far, was the backdrop, painting the backdrops. I like the scenery. I like all of that. So, and I'll have something similar to that for the N scale layout when I get to that. But I'm gonna have trains running on that first. That I can easily get to the backside of. So thank you very much, folks. I'm gonna shut this down. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate all the chat and the fun comments. And if I'll see you in the streams, and if I don't see you before then, we'll see you on Heath's channel next Sunday night. Have a good week, everyone.